So just state the obvious. It was a really good football game for us and a good win for our team. Just really proud of everybody's efforts, not just today, but the entire week getting ready for this thing. So thought our guys really played hard. Put a lot of heart into it, and young guys and old guys stepped up and did a great job. Talk about next man in, and we got some guys a little bit older and then some guys younger, but I thought they really did a good job. Challenges in every football game. Certainly today that wasn't any different. And again, just really proud of the way the guys persevered, the way they kept fighting, kept pushing, and most importantly, we were ready to compete today, and that's where it all starts. So, just a couple things to highlight: Jackson Stratton, obviously, on offense, jumping in there, first start as our quarterback, and then maybe just equally significant, he's had a week to think about it, a week plus to think about it. So instead of getting thrown in like he knew he was going to be playing, I thought he played with a lot of poise, good awareness out there, made the plays that we were hoping he'd make, and made good decisions, most importantly, and protected the football. So just a really good effort there. Dunk couldn't go up front, so Nick DeYoung, an older guy, a veteran guy, really played and looked like he really played a good game. He practiced well all week, so happy about that. The entire line, played a good game. And part of that, tying it back to Jackson, there's some subtleties in there when you have a new line, new quarterback, or an old line, a new quarterback, just with the cadence, all that kind of stuff. And it was good to see no operational errors there. So thought that was something that maybe goes a little bit under the radar. And defensively, just a really good effort by all quarters. Good job up front, putting pressure on the quarterback. Hopefully we're going to try to disrupt him, try to disrupt the receivers a little bit, and not let them just run free. And then the guys in the back end did a good job, and TJ Hall stepping in. So just happy about that. And obviously having Jay in there playing, it takes a lot to keep Jay out. I can tell you that personally, and we've witnessed that a couple of times. So happy about that. And then the special teams, it was tricky out there, the windy conditions. We haven't had a lot of wind, so that made it tricky. Drew Stevens, stating the obvious, was just really stellar and outstanding. And Reese didn't get a lot of opportunities, but I thought he did a nice job when he did. And the one punt into the wind was huge, in my opinion. Just really did a good job of helping field position. And then Weege, wasn't much in the return game, but just a good job of using judgment back there. And so that's certainly good to see as well. And then just little closing things. It was our best start on the road this year, which is good to see. Not that it's going to factor in moving forward, but that's certainly improvement. Thought the first half really played out about as well as we could outside of the turnover. But controlling the ball, keeping it on the ground, and trying to keep their quarterback off the field, that was paramount in our thinking. And so just, really pleased about that way that unfolded and the way our guys responded there. And then, the last thing, just, talk about the environment in college football. It's we're in different times than we've ever been, and knew that. Talked about with our team last weekend, actually, and just, it's a really easy time for players to be distracted. A big news flash right there, but not that there are new ones, but there are some new ones right now. So, we're in a little different period of time historically, and it's interesting, but I think it's a real credit to the guys that were out there competing today, doing a good job, getting ready and then showing up and competing, and that's really what the game is supposed to teach you. So it's just really proud of our guys and the way they work today. I'll throw it out for questions.
Start with Tom. Kirk, in terms of a game plan coming in, kind of taking some of that pressure off Jackson, this probably worked out as good as you could have hoped?
Yeah, I mean, no question. I mean, it doesn't take a Newt Rockney to figure this one out, but I mean, coming in, we wanted to, be able to run the football. That's what we do best, and try to minimize throwing, but also try to maximize the clock if we could, and shorten the game a little bit that way. So that part way it works out. But if you're not playing defense, it doesn't matter. And if you get behind, you can't do that. So the defense really did their part. They held serve, if you will, and really, I think it was a shutout at halftime, right? So that's a good thing, and just allowed us to play complementary football, and it takes all three segments. But yeah, it played out about as well as you could hope, and then they got to go on a little bit in that second half, but you can't relax just because they have some really high octane performers out there.
Chad.
Tuesday we left kind of unclear on quarterback. Obviously, how did you see Jackson, I guess, handle that part of it? Just not knowing what was going on for a little while, and then maybe more importantly, how did you see his teammates, come to his assistance, rally around him as the week went on?
Yeah, I'm not, we're not unique in this way, but we got really good guys on our team, really good guys, and they're team guys, and they support whoever's in there. I don't think we've had in my time here, we're, hey, the guys in this camp and guys in that camp. I don't think our guys operate that way. They're for whoever's going to be in there, and that's part of the next man concept. So, we're just, it's whoever's healthy is going to go, and whoever's healthy is going to get snaps, and that was an interesting scenario as well. But everybody just, if Jackson's there, he's in there, we're going to support him, and he's earned a lot of respect too in a short amount of time just by the way he operates, and so it's a good thing, really good thing, and it's a good thing to see those guys play together out there today.
John,
with Cade, kind of what can you say in terms of the nature of his status? He was mentioning having a setback on Sunday. Was that something that he flagged? Was that something the medical staff flagged? And
Yeah. I'll say a couple things. And first of all, maybe I should quit saying anything because, a dissection and talking about the new era, social media world, all that crap. But, yeah, and the other thing I'll say about, let me say about the Cade specifically, I hope people that aren't so engrossed in what we do, which we all are engrossed in it, believe me, it's our livelihood. But, sometimes you got to step back and have some compassion for the people that are out competing. You think about the last 3 years for this guy. He has had a rough go. And I always tell players, injuries are nobody's fault. They're not. It's part of the game. It's part of what we do in November. They tend to pop up. But, I think people need to just settle down a little bit and have some compassion for the people involved. These guys are all college kids. They're kids out there doing their best. And then the other commentary I'll give you on concussions, and I'm obviously, I didn't get a master's in anything, so don't have a medical degree. But sitting in a lot of medical meetings and just watching, 25 years ago, we didn't treat concussions. We've come a long way. I'm thinking about one player specifically 12 years ago who actually got knocked out in a game, came back, took a while, a couple weeks, whatever, came back and played, and then in practice just got hit about that hard, and down he went. So my assumption was this guy will never play again. Came back the next year, never had an issue. But my point is that concussions are extremely unpredictable. They're day to day. And, when you have a setback 20 years ago, you don't worry about it. But now, we do have a protocol. So, unfortunately, he can't get over the hill. And it's hard, and it's, you can imagine how frustrating it is for him. And then hope you can appreciate, I'm not going to share anything with the injury-wise because there's a competitive didn't necessarily want our opponents to know we had one quarterback coming in this game. Hope you can understand that. So I was going to give you one tip about Hawkeyes' injury from today, but I'll probably leave it go because I might get scolded, so I'm not going to do it. But it was the left side that was hurting. Okay, but I think he's fine.
Chad.
Below the belt. You can use your imagination. I didn't know it was the left side. He told me in the locker room. I asked him how he's doing. Okay. You got to laugh. That is funny, not Cade's situation.
How and when did you find out Jamari Harris wasn't going to play, and what is his?
During the week, and he's been through a lot medically too. I just talked about Cade's, last 3 years, and Jamari's got hardware in his leg, and sort of three components to it. You've got the medical staff says he's cleared, the player says he's good to go, and then the coach has to say, yeah, I think you can function out there. All three have to be, aligned. And the first one, if the medical staff says the guy can't, doesn't matter what the coach or player think. So it's pretty simple there. And then the other thing, I just always, because I don't know what the chatter is out there. I don't read any of that stuff. But the other thing, I will never forget a quote from Bum Phillips, where he always used to say, "It's easy to be tough with other people's bodies." And I've had 3 kids play in our program. 2 had surgeries, 1 multiple surgeries, and then, the other guy didn't have surgery, but he had a really tough injury his senior year and missed a lot of time practicing, didn't miss any game time. So, it's you don't know what kids are going through and what they play with and all that. And everybody's got different, pain thresholds and, different circumstances medically. So anyway, but yeah, it was during the week I just found out, he didn't think he could go. And so hopefully he can get himself healthy and, do what he's got to do and, move forward.
Following up off that,
Hold on, John. Tom.
You mentioned Tuesday just expectations. Your end of your kind of commentary today, you were talking about the state of things.
Yeah, it's a mess.
You're a football coach.
Yeah, it's a
How
mess.
are you dealing with all of these different competing interests that are going on right now?
You know, it's been a long time since I was in the NFL, but when guys hold out in the NFL, you coach the guys that are there. Simple as that. And, you know, great quote from John Wooden about, you know, don't worry about what you cannot do. Worry about what you have. You know, what are your strengths? And I think that's something all of us need to be mindful in life, because we all have limitations or, you know, issues and problems. And promise you, in football, everybody in November's got issues in college, and they'll be the same way a month from now in the NFL, although they got a pretty good jump on it too. So you coach the guys that are there, and, you know, the guys are able to play, and you go from there. And then the other part is, I mean, the reality of the environment that we've created, not intentionally, but it's just a really unhealthy environment right now for college athletes, and it's a tough time, really confusing time for them to be navigating. And it's the irony is, like, it's so simple, but it's so hard. It's like doing anything well. It's so simple to know what's paramount for success, but to stay, you know, not get distracted and get off the track about what it takes. A lot easier said than done, because, you know, all populations have distractions, and college kids have always had them, whether it was, you know, females, alcohol, drugs, you know, 50 years ago. Now we got a whole new set of circumstances. Social media, just, you know, the open door we have with NIL, transfer portal, all that stuff. And then a whole wave of people that are advisors that have come in to help these guys, right, and help those families. So it's a really interesting time period right now in our profession. Talked to Beth this week, and I told her, you know, I asked her, I said, tell me I'm not crazy. I think there's some encouragement based on what sounds like we're going to do moving forward. There's going to be some structure, because we all need structure. We all need to know what the rules are and then play within them, you know, and that's kind of what we need. So hopefully a day's coming. I think it might be, and that's reason for optimism. But flip it right around. I mean, you know, Laporta 2 years ago got scoped on. Coincidentally, I just kind of ran into this the other day. November 22nd got scoped, and you couldn't keep him out of the Music City Bowl, a meaningless bowl, right, by the experts. You couldn't keep that guy out of there. And you think it's a coincidence? He got drafted by the Lions and went to a Pro Bowl his first year. Jack Campbell, you shitting me? Him missing a game, and you saw Jay Higgins, right? I mean, this guy, you know, you better knock him down and keep him down if you're going to keep him off the field. So that's what you love. And we got a lot of guys like that. I mean, a lot of guys are just like, you know, here we go.
We'll finish up with two more, John and Chad.
And just for, they've all been cleared to play okay, so I'm not making that judgment. I'm just talking about guys that are, like, nobody's full speed right now.
Following off that with the conversation you had with Jamari, do you anticipate him being an option on Friday? Or
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I'll let you know what I think. I can let you know on Tuesday, but yeah, we'll see. It's like that with everybody. You know, we'll all know more. And some of them, like, you know, Reese Fanders, I told you the other day, I'm not optimistic. Bowl game, he should be great. I hope, you know, unless there's something crazy going on. Who else did I give you last week that was definitely not playing? Who was it? Yeah. We'll see next week. But, I mean, his rehab's going really well, but probably not, you know.
Okay, last question, Chad.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, I guess, seeing what you saw today with Jackson, do you think Jackson will start against Nebraska?
Based on everything I know, that's few the proud, the free out there. So, you know what I mean? And he's the leader of the group right now. So, yeah, I would assume so. But we'll see what happens when the week comes. But if we got to practice tomorrow, which we won't, but we will on Monday. You know, I assume he'll be the guy in there. Yep. Okay, thank you, guys.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, Kirk.
Thank you.